The next question was, hey guys, what are your thoughts on large rating type sites like topseos.com and clutch.co? Do you think it's a good business model? I'm wondering if it's possible to pull off something similar in my city with SM methods. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a believer of directory sites. I have one that is, I've been talking about it for 2 years, shit. And it works great. I've got a niche specific directory, right? So mine's a tree service contractor directory, and it works fantastic for generating leads for my agency. I built it initially as an outbound prospecting method where I used the directory as a foot in the door, free listings on the directory as a conversation starter with my ideal client or prospect, right? Which are tree service contractors. So, but after about almost a year of doing that, and in some basic SEO stuff, I really didn't spend a lot of time or energy on, SEOing the directory, but it ended up ranking #1 for tree service directory. And it has been now almost this entire year. So I don't even use it for outbound prospecting anymore because I get at a minimum of 2 inbound leads per week from tree service contractors that have found my directory and submitted their information. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because the directory plugin and theme that I use, which I teach how to build the directories and all the automations and the outreach process that I use and everything else that would absolutely apply for a local business directory. You could still use all the same methods that I teach for building the directory and using that to initiate conversations with, in your case, would be just business owners in your local city. I don't recommend that. I would encourage you to consider a niche specific directory like clutch.co is an SEO agency directory, right? So, or a marketing agency directory, but I know it as an SEO agency directory. So, so that's a niche specific directory, which allows them to expand to any city in the United States or even beyond, because their target, the businesses that they want listed on the directory are SEO agencies or marketing agencies. So it makes the scalability much easier because all of your messaging and everything is all in all of your marketing, everything can all be around that one specific industry. And that's what I do. That's what I recommend. It becomes so much easier to scale. But you could do it on a city level. Okay. You totally could do that and be a general business directory for your specific city. The only issue with that is, and it may not be an issue for you, but for me, it's a lot harder to scale because I use my directory as a way to upsell the directory, the businesses listed on the directory into my digital marketing services, right? And so I want all of the businesses on my directory to be in the tree service industry because I already have all that down pat, right? Like I know what works in that industry. I know all the keywords. Like I've done all the keyword research for years. I know what converts. I know what kind of copy converts. I know how to speak to business owners in the tree service industry. So I know that industry well. So it makes it so much easier to scale because anytime I get a new tree service contractor into the directory, then I can pitch them on my SEO services or whatever marketing services I'm trying to sell them on. And I already have all that down pat. Like I've got it down to a science. So it's just so much easier to scale. If you're doing a local business, general business directory in your local city, every time you get a different business in from a different industry, you got to go through that whole process again of learning the vocabulary of that industry, learning which keywords are important, learning what type of copy converts their customers, right? First, you have to learn the vocabulary to speak to the business owner. Then if you're going to sell them SEO or marketing services, you have to learn the vocabulary or what's important to their consumers, the consumers of their products and services. So you have to learn 2 sets of vocabulary for every industry, if that makes sense. You have to split test ads and creatives and determine what converts and that kind of stuff. So my point is you could do it on a city level. I feel like your work is going to be exponentially more than if you did it on a niche or industry level, if that makes sense. All of that, though, to go back to saying the training that I provide for how to build a directory and do all the automations and the outreach and everything is all in the mastermind already. I have a whole sequence of standard operating procedures. There's 8 of them currently, SOPs, 8 full SOPs. Like it took me 2 years to develop the system, and it took me like 4 months to build the SOPs that I made available in the mastermind. So, but the directory theme and plugin that we use, and we have a link for this, Adam, if you want to grab it from SM Shortling. It's called WP Geo Directory, or Geo Directory is what, just for short. That has, like, I have not enabled the review or rating feature. There is definitely a rating feature in there. So you could have a, like, for example, my tree service directory, it could be, I could have ratings and reviews for contractors on there. So if you do it on a local business, a general business directory for your local city, then you could have ratings and reviews on there as well. And in fact, one of our members of our mastermind who's also building the directory, we have kind of a spin-off group in our mastermind. It's like a mini mastermind of people that are building the directory, because there's, I don't know, about a dozen people or so in our mastermind that are doing that method now, because it works. And by the way, our members that are far enough along to where they're actually using their directory for outreach are having success. They're having similar success to what I had, which is precisely why I spent months developing the training to share with you guys, so that other people could duplicate that, right, or replicate it. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, one of the members that is doing that, he has an HVAC directory. He was talking about selling that, like, as part of like monetizing the directory. I use it purely to start a conversation with my ideal prospect, but you could actually monetize the directory too, right? You could sell premium listings, reviews, review collection and building reputation services, for example. You could sell traffic, you could sell advertising space, you could sell, you could produce leads with your directory and then sell the leads. I mean, there's just a lot of things that you can do. So I'm a true believer in the directory method for as an SEO or as an agency. The directory is just an outstanding way to land your ideal client, right? Whether that's at a city level with any business, or at a industry level, which is what I prefer because it makes scaling easier. So that's my take on that. It was a good question.